Where's the white? There it is. Right. Right, turn the whole stuff on. Yep, there it goes. As long as you're careful, or else it's gonna flood the whole house. Alright, here we go. Oh no, there's a flooding problem. Oh, there's bubbles everywhere. Oh, the humanity. Oh no, I dropped a few spoons in the bubbles. Oh no, oh no, oh, oh no, oh no, what's going on? Oh no, there's cups and bowls. Well, a bowl. Oh no, there's two bowls in there. Oh no, oh, the humanity. Oh, oh. Oh, shame. Oh, it's unbearable. What have I done? So many bubbles. Oh no. Oh no. How did it come to this? Oh, stop the hot stuff. Oh, that was close. Oh, oh, oh. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. So, today we're going to do a bit of a movie catch-up because I've seen several movies now and might as well just take the time to talk about them in this live stream, just in a rather, pardon me, simultaneously manner. I think I had a kind of a banana kind of burp there. I'll probably use all the banana chips to eat. I might as well eat a few almonds just to counter that. Almonds. Good for vitamin E, good for your skin. RoundUP, you really are like Glenn. RoundUP! The way you turned that. Welcome, Double A, to the live stream. Let's get straight to the point. The movies. So, I didn't exactly know when I was going to see the new Fantastic Four movie, but I finally got the chance to do so. And needless to say, hate to disappoint, but some of you won't be surprised what I'm about to say. The Incredibles is still the superior Fantastic Four movie. I know, nothing new under the sun there. I know. Just laying the facts out there. The Incredibles was, and always will be the superior Fantastic Four movie. Or is it Fantastic Five? Because Jack's in there. You get what I mean. This Fantastic Four movie also made that gesture with the whole baby character. So, regarding the Fantastic Four movie, it's quite amazing how, despite all the bad marketing, despite all the bad, I was about to say bed press. They were like selling beds with the number 4 just to promote the movie. Despite all the bad press, despite all the controversies surrounding the film, which was mainly based on the disillusionment with what the MCU had become, when everyone's, respect. Just another way of saying nobody is, So despite all that going against this Fantastic Four movie, combined with the fact that the MCU has not been doing well at all, and Doomsday is set to bomb, the Fantastic Four movie by itself was actually pretty good. it was actually all right. I mean, for starters, we finally get an actual strong heroine as opposed to another irritating girl boss. Thank God. And all the characters are endearing, and it's got quite an intriguing conflict in regards to this big choice the big dilemma that the characters find themselves in as they face Galactus, who, as far as I'm aware, is rather comic accurate here. And it's interesting how there's been two superhero movies dominating July, and I suppose by extension the first half of August. That being James Gunn's Superman and the Fantastic Four First Steps movie. So the big question is, which one was better? A lot of people, I know people would probably lean more towards the Fantastic Four movie, and I can understand why. Fantastic Four movie has a better plot structure than James Gunn's Superman, but at the same time, probably due to the nature of the sporadic need for a final cut, yes, I'll get to you. Due to the sporadic need of a final cut, I sense that James Gunn, as unfocused as his movie is, he still had the upper hand when it came to characterization. So because James Gunn, unlike the Fantastic Four movie, he actually uses more of his time to get to know the characters. I'm pretty sure if Fantastic Four was a bit longer, they would have spent more time getting to know the characters and fleshing them out. As it stands, the James Gunn Superman does better with characterization, whereas the Fantastic Four movie has more of a focus with the plot structure and a certain plot structure that doesn't require dozens of homework for other quantity content for post-Endgame MCU. Post-Secret Wars, it looks like the MCU will have a major reshuffle. I mean, they might just end the whole thing altogether. They might, because based on everything that we've had to put up with for the past 6 or 5 years, probably 6. Yeah, 6 years. Sorry, I'm just trying to address something. Based on everything we've had to put up with for the past 6 years, sorry, it's hard for me to concentrate on multiple things at once. Someone's appreciating my short. I wish I could talk and do this at the same time, but I don't really have that kind of mindset. Right. They can't end it. Say it with me, everybody. They've got to have money. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about modern Disney and all the umbrella categories associated with that, is that once they find something that's successful, they're going to milk the ever-loving snot out of it for as long as they can. I mean, in their mind, they want to do it forever. Who wants to milk forever? Who wants to milk forever? Ooh. So it goes on and on. So ideally, they're just going to keep doing that. But oddly enough, Walt Disney himself disapproved of making sequels, and he focused on innovation. So Walt Disney would be so ashamed of the way modern Disney is handling the company today. Think about that. So Bob Iger and the rest have gotten carried away with a quantity over quality, and it really shows. They'll reboot it rather than end it. Right. I suppose this Fantastic Four movie could have been a good opportunity for a reboot. I mean, the story itself is set in alternative Earth, the whole multiverse thing. And there's a mid-credit scene which teases of Doctor Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr., and saying the Fantastic Four will return in Avengers Doomsday. I might as well take this time to establish the reasons why Avengers Doomsday is going to flop. I mean, let's be honest. Doomsday is not going to exceed Avengers Endgame, and Kevin Feige knows this. Come on, let's be honest. So the reason why this is the case is because after Endgame, with the exception of No Way Home and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has made flop after flop after flop after flop after flop. And all of them have been very negatively received to the point where they've had some of the worst content in the MCU franchise. And on some occasions, just some of the worst content, period. Like, people still despise She-Hulk Attorney at Law for being so degrading to the fans and for trying to be funny when it was not. And Ironheart, oh boy, that was a whole trash pile in itself. I've already reviewed several of the movies from this era, the post Endgame era, like Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Thor: Love and Thunder particularly enraged me more than a lot of them. And it's such a shame to see a franchise like that go from peak multi-story movie franchise, like the standard of cinematic universes, to becoming how not to make it cinematic universe. Funny how that comes around. So yeah, they've only hired Robert Downey Jr. as Doomsday just for nostalgia purposes, not really anything else. I mean, I get it, like multiverse. Ooh, people can look like certain people in the multiverse. Yeah, I mean, I grant you that, but still, we all know the reason why they're doing this. They're desperate. They know that their previous stuff hasn't worked, so they're going to appeal to monkey brain nostalgia for as long as possible. But of course, I mean, there's no denying that Robert's going to put on a good performance, but I guess a lot of that factors remain to be seen. But as it stands, you think Doomsday will flop? How about Secret Wars? Oh yeah, they're going to make Secret Wars after Doomsday. I mean, Doomsday is going to flop. I mean, maybe it won't, but if it doesn't flop, it would. I imagine that it would financially only just get the money back. But here's the thing: Doomsday is going to feature not just the characters we love, but also featuring the stories that people did not like, namely Ironheart and She-Hulk coming back. Aren't you excited for She-Hulk coming back? No, of course you're not. You don't like how she was presented in the She-Hulk Attorney Law. That's just the way it is. Like, Doomsday is just built on the foundation of flops, so it's not going to work. Secret Wars is one of the best comic book stories ever. I really need to read Secret Wars. I remember my cousin gave me that, and I just thought, man, this is just too much convoluted lore to even keep up with, so I gave it away. Right, I really need to give Secret Wars another chance. Right, I mean, obviously Fantastic Four is, as evidenced by this conversation, it's plagued by the franchise milking implications, but on its own, the characters are endearing enough where you want to root for them to protect the Earth. There's this legitimate dilemma which makes the movie interesting, and the setting is fairly vibrant and certainly captures the 60s aesthetic of what the future would have looked like, kind of like the Jetsons, if you will, fully realized. It's very cute, very charming. I mean, not as much characterization of James Gunn's Superman, but still endearing enough in its own right, on its own. I think by the end of this decade, superheroes will be very tired for the general population. Yeah, it seems that the superhero fatigue is real. I mean, obviously, people are still hungering for superhero movies and content done right. I mean, people are still going to look to heroes of some kind. I mean, this is you'll notice that throughout movie history, there's been several shifts in what audiences would like. Like in the 50s and 60s, there was the musicals, and after that, the 60s, 70s, it was like the westerns. Then there was a focus towards sci-fi with like Star Wars, Alien, Back to the Future. Then you had like Lord of the Rings by the 2000s. And then there was the Harry Potter generation. There was, I don't think I want to mention the Twilight era. Then, of course, you had the MCU back in 2008 all the way to 2019. Like for about 11 or 12 years, it was a pretty solid track record. So now we're moving on to something else, probably video game adaptations, Sony Pictures animations dominating. Because here's the thing, if Disney is not going to innovate, then others will, to make a long story short. Right, let's talk about another movie. Weapons. This is a horror movie. Which basically is a very fascinating mystery movie where the premise is that it's in this American town, and one night at 2:17 a.m., the children. Next thing is AI movies. There are a lot of movies delving into the topics of AI long before all these AI controversies, which I suppose I'll get back to because there's something very pressing I should really start to mention. So Weapons was a very fascinating horror movie set in an American town where at 2:17 a.m. these children just spontaneously get out of bed, get out from the house, and then run away into the darkness in a very strange kind of posture, run to the darkness, and no one knows where they've gone to. Just re-release a Tom and Jerry the movie in cinemas if Disney needs money. Everyone will flock to that. Oh yeah, the Tom and Jerry movie is technically under Disney's property, right? That's right. They've got to have money. Oh man. So that's what I was trying to say about Weapons is that it's interesting we're talking about Marvel. This Weapons movie also has Josh Brolin in it. So after the children disappear, people are blaming the school teacher of the class because it was specifically this entire classroom, save for one child, that disappeared. Sorry. And so from there, the movie does a very fascinating storytelling technique, which I haven't really seen other movies do. And that is tell the story from multiple perspectives. So this guy's story, this person's story, this person's story, and all of them are giving different accounts of what's happening. And it's in a non-linear format. So AA, it's kind of like Pulp Fiction. So the only other movie that I can think of that plays around with this non-linear format of storytelling would be Hoodwinked. Hoodwinked was a movie where it seemed like just another cheap Shrek knockoff, but believe me, the writing in the Hoodwinked is brilliant. It's actually hilarious. Hey, got a box of candles. Box of candles. Light them up. Oh, those candles are awfully bright. Oh, those candles are awfully bright. What kind of candles are they? Ooh, dynamite. Ooh, must be Italian. Who's the candle? Do I like Westerns? I need to watch more Westerns, to be honest, but I suppose it would have to be a specific type of Western. I found that like the Magnificent Seven was kind of dull compared to its source material, the Seven Samurai, which is a much more engaging. On the other hand, you got like the Man with No Names trilogy, you got True Grit with John Wayne, and other movies like that, which are legitimately engaging. I suppose I'll need to watch more westerns, but Rango is a fun western. um, so so anyway, back to weapons. With weapons, I don't want to give much away, but it's a pretty fascinating movie. I heard that Weapons was an allegory for school shootings. If you went into Weapons not knowing that, you probably wouldn't have guessed, aside from that one scene where Josh Brolin's character has a dream, and at one point he looks up at the sky and he sees an assault rifle with 217 on it. I think that's pretty much as overt as it gets. Other than that, I don't think people would ever have guessed it would have been a school shooting allegory, which is pretty interesting. True Grit is your favorite Western of all time. All right, I picked the right one. I've yet to see the remake of True Grit, which was done by the Coen brothers, starring Jet Bridges. Was it? Yeah, it was Jet Bridges. I've also yet to watch Tombstone. That's right. Yeah, especially since Val Kilmer passed away. I'll need to give that a chance when I get the chance. Sorry, my words. Watching Weapons, how do I describe this one thing that fascinates me without giving it away? So I finally got access to the Grimm's fairy tales. And when I saw the ending of Weapons, Weapons is also a dark comedy as well as a horror mystery, which is an interesting angle. And I've noticed that the way the villain gets killed off without giving it away, I mean, it's kind of obvious who the villain is once you find out, but if you're curious to see Weapons, I won't give it away. I've noticed that the way the villain gets killed off, I was thinking about it and I thought, what a fascinating pattern. And I looked into it and I thought, there's actually this pattern of storytelling, which I'd like to point out. I mean, in Weapons, basically there's this curse and it backfires on the villain tremendously. And I've noticed this pattern a lot, like in Hansel and Gretel. The witch tries to lure Hansel and Gretel into the oven to cook and eat them. But in the story, which I've actually read, by the way, the witch is telling Gretel, "I'm going to eat you, child." Paraphrasing. And then Gretel says, "I can't get in. Can you show me how?" And then the witch says, "Foolish child, you get in like this." And then Gretel shoves the witch in and then gets the witch cooked in her own oven. So that's another way of saying that the evil scheme backfires on the one committing it. And I keep seeing this pattern, like Nosferatu getting so caught up in lust, he ends up burning in the sunlight, or how Scar's affiliation with the hyenas is what ultimately ends him, or Dr. Facilier's deal with the voodoo demons backfires when the characters are able to exploit that and send him to eternal torment. Which is a creepy, scarier than evil male character. There's the truth. There's the truth of it. So I was noticing this pattern that I've seen in a lot of stories, and as far as I could research, this storytelling trope actually dates back to a lot of traditions, like even going as far back as ancient texts, like the Bible has this psalm which says that and I'm paraphrasing, by the way, the evil one dug their own pit and then they got buried in it. That's basically a way of saying that evil, no matter how powerful it is, it's always going to backfire. So it's a common storytelling trope that the punishment fits the crime. And that for these kind of villains, like you usually see them with like occultic affiliated characters, like with like Dr. Facilier, the villain of Weapons, the witch from Hansel and Gretel, that the evil they afflict ultimately backfires on themselves. It's that false promise of power, but it's temporary. It's selfish. They have a boost in success at first, but it's only a temporary boost. because not only do they then get everyone else to go against them, but then life finds a way for things to backfire. Why do you think that is? Because all throughout history, if you're paying attention, evil eats itself. Like Tolkien himself said that evil's not a tangible thing in and of itself. It's more of a lack of a good thing. Like evil's like a leech. Like, for example, evil can't exist without good. Like you can't have rust without a good car. You can't have cancer without a body. So it's that thing where like evil is this sort of parasite that is oriented towards the self, and it's always consuming and always never satisfied, so it eventually eats itself up. That's why evil always loses. And I've noticed that in Weapons. I thought, man, that's a fascinating storytelling trope. The next movie I want to talk about, The Bad Guys 2. I saw The Bad Guys for the first time, I think it was earlier this year, on DVD. I've been meaning to watch it because this is the one that really kickstarted this whole DreamWorks Renaissance period with The Bad Guys, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and The Wild Robot, and the upcoming sequel to The Wild Robot, where DreamWorks is taking the chance to play around with animation styles. And the Bad Guys series, it's some of the most energetic animation I've ever seen. It's the whole Bad Guys series. It's basically, if you've seen the Lupin the Third anime series, or Castle of Cagliostro, that's basically what The Bad Guys is. If the main characters were, talking animals, basically. So they're all like heist movies, and it's so energetic, so wild, and at the time pretty funny. The Bad Guys 2 is it's a pretty solid, entertaining film, and it's so fascinating just to see DreamWorks play around with animation in this way. And there's some really creative set pieces at play, which really cater to this energetic animation that they're going for. It's really fun to watch. Really quite the spectacle to behold. Another film that I've seen lately, The Naked Gun. Yes, The Naked Gun. Throughout the course of this year, my friend Lewis showed me the Naked Gun series, the Naked Gun trilogy. Well, I suppose the Naked Gun series, including the remake, the rebooted sequel. My friend Lewis showed me the Naked Gun series, which I've been meaning to see. I mean, I think this was the year I finally took the time to watch a lot of Zaz-oriented comedies, and by Zaz I mean Zucker, Abrahams, and Zaz. No, Zucker, Abraham, and Zucker. Man, these three are basically like the American Monty Python, even when for some reason they kind of split up. And to my memory, their last collaboration was the first Naked Gun movie before the Zuckers focused on the rest of the series, and then Abrahams focused on Hot Shots. I think you'll see the similar pattern. Like it starts off with Airplane, and then goes along with like the Naked Gun series and Hot Shots. Just throughout this year, I've been introduced to those films, and it was Brooks, my friend Brooks, who showed me Airplane, and before that, my friend Lewis showed me the Naked Gun series and the Hot Shots movies, and all of them are absolutely hilarious parody slapstick comedy. They're some of the best comedy movies you're ever going to see. I think the Naked Gun series and the Hot Shot series are some of the funniest films I've ever seen. I'm just thinking of some of the scenes just making me laugh. When I think of the new Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson, honestly, I think it lives up to the reputation of the previous Naked Gun movies. I can understand why people wouldn't be so warmed up to this particular entry with Liam Neeson, but honestly, myself, Lewis, and others were hysterically laughing throughout the movie. I knew I was in for a good movie when the movie begins with the bad guys breaking into a bank, go into like the vault, and then stealing this thing which is literally called plot device. I love that kind of self-referential humor. Even the bad guys too had that with when they mentioned MacGuffinite, I just immediately burst out laughing. But then they kind of kept repeating. I thought, oh, okay, you're kind of ruining it by just over-exploiting it. But there's something about that kind of self-referential humor, like in the Lego Batman movie where they say, "This is MacGuffin," and like that is just very funny to me. Liam Neeson, as Lewis pointed out to me, is the perfect stand-in for Leslie Nielsen, because both of them have a lot in common, to the point where it's, as George Lucas would say, it's like poetry. It rhymes. Essentially, both of them share the same first syllables, first two letters of the name, like Liam Neeson, Leslie Nielsen, LN. And both of them were affiliated with very serious dramas. And by the time they got to comedy, they both played it with very serious, deadpan kind of comedy. I mean, Liam Neeson actually had experience with that kind of thing before with Ted 2. And both of them had experience with the drama. So by the time this Naked Gun came along, Liam Neeson just fits in like a glove. I mean, it is a bit odd that the third Naked Gun movie was made in like 1993 or so, and about 30 years have passed. But Frank Drebin Jr. is apparently already at a fairly old age. But honestly, all the characters really give it their all. Like, there's some really funny jokes in there. They go all in on the goofiness, as they should with a Naked Gun movie. I could break down the plot, but you're not really in for a Naked Gun movie to learn about the plot. You're in it to have a laugh, and oh boy, laugh! It will make you laugh. It's just absolutely brilliant. There's just so many. They have so much fun with like background gags and anticlimactic scenes done right, and the other things. It's just a hilarious time. I really enjoyed my time with the Naked Gun movie. It's probably one of the best films of 2025, honestly. Other films that saw throughout the course of recently during the summer period. Just give me a moment while I try to figure that out. Let's see. Yeah, saw Superman, saw K-pop Demon Hunters. I saw Formula One back in June. Yeah, Formula One was that was another great movie made by the same man who made Top Gun Maverick. And I'll say that Formula One wasn't quite as good as Top Gun Maverick, but even though there are a few questionable elements like Brad Pitt being too old to race, the film itself has a lot of good vibes to it. Maybe not the best at teaching overall morality, but Formula One is definitely a feel-good movie of character growth, a spectacle, and all that good stuff. And other films I watched, Salt Path. That was another film I watched back in June. If you want to know more about that, follow me on Letterboxd. If you want to know more about that, the Phoenician Scheme. Wes Anderson, in his usual Wes Anderson wackiness. Go to my letterbox if you want to learn more about that. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Very questionable ending that happened there. Other than that, I enjoyed the film. Karate Kid Legends. I guess we're delving into the springtime now. Karate Kid Legends. It was an all right film. There was some visual elements of Karate Kid Legends I actually quite liked. I always like when people put energy into a film. You get what I mean? And just checking. Yeah, I think that pretty much summarizes all the films that I saw during the summer period. So, something else I want to cover is the hype building up for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Everybody super Sonic Racing, gotta get the feet right on the ground. When you're super Sonic Racing, there's no time to look around. So in order to do that, just share the screen. Add to the stage. Right. Yes, here we go. So this game really fascinates me. Already it's quite the bombastic start with some very bizarre crossover ideas, and only recently I've been able to find out how it is that Sega is able to have Nickelodeon-related characters into the racing game. And the reason is because I was on YouTube and then I noticed, this video pop up for the Legend of Korra series on the Paramount channel, and then it clicked. Okay, now it makes sense. The reason why these Nickelodeon characters here is because they're owned by Paramount, and Paramount got involved with making the movies, with making the Sonic movies. So Paramount made the Sonic movies, Paramount owns Nickelodeon. This is how this crossover is possible. So now it all makes sense. So it's also been announced that there will be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle characters as well as Avatar: The Last Airbender characters, and there's at least another slot or two worth of franchise milking to go. I'm speculating it could be DC because Sonic had a crossover with DC Comics. So maybe we'll see Batman in his Batmobile, or like Wonder Woman in her invisible jet or something. We'll see. Free post-launch racers. The racers will be added to the game through free updates. Sweet, right? My friend Brooks would be willing to get the game just to play as Joker. It's surprising to see Hatsune Miku, of all people, get on there. Like, she's such a bombastically popular character where there was a whole update centered on this one character in Fall Guys. Fall Guys has reached its 5th anniversary, by the way. And yes, at some point I'll need to play Fall Guys just to celebrate the game that's been responsible for some of my more popular live streams. Sonic in his werehog form from Sonic Unleashed will be available as a pre-order bonus. I've managed to pre-order a physical copy of the game for the PlayStation 5. So yes, boys, expect live stream when that happens. Yep. So once again, just like in Team Sonic Racing, you can customize your vehicle. Pick between 5 types of... Ooh, a boost type. Now that's interesting. I haven't actually seen this, to be fair. Right. This all makes sense. That all makes a lot of sense. Boost type. Power type. Yeah, in Team Sonic Racing, you would have the speed type, the technique type, which was more acceleration and handling, and then you have the power type. So now they've split the acceleration handling altogether for different kinds of characters. And now you've got the boost type, which makes sense for the Sonic Riders series where they have the hoverboards. Right. So boosting is going to be very valuable because that's what hoverboarding is all about. Right. That's a really cool idea because power boards are more exposed, so they're not quite so powerful, and maybe a bit too technical to be have straightforward speed because they're hovering above the ground, so they won't have that speed momentum of the wheels constantly pulling you forward. But they do have the boost type of being all throughout the air, so that's what's going to give Jet and his lackeys the advantage point. That's pretty cool. And of course, you got DLC stuff like just a minecart. I will be honest, I did not get to see that page at first, but this is the thing that I did see, which fascinates me. So the gimmick of this particular game is that it's pretty much going to be the same as Sonic Racing Transformed, only this time they're going to introduce this concept of traveling between different worlds in between races, which is quite the technical achievement. I mean, we've seen this done in like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which was really impressive, and then some. So apparently, from what I've read, the courses are going to be organized where you'll be racing along any of these particular courses willy-nilly. You'll be racing along, and then all of a sudden, in lap 2, you'll have the opportunity to go to any of these alternative worlds. So once you've been through these alternative worlds, through lap 3, you go back to this main course, which I think is a really cool idea. And other news, I've heard that the Spider-Maaan movie has wrapped up its filming, and that I've been hearing that word about any further filming in Glasgow has been exaggerated. I guess we'll have to just wait and see. Yeah, I think that pretty much summarizes everything I wanted to say in this particular live stream. So one other thing before I head out is if you look at the description of this video, you'll see a link to the run that I'm going to do next month. I'm going to be running the Loch Ness Marathon again. This time, I'll be raising funds for the My Name's Doddy Foundation, which is basically a charity that's fighting against the MND, motor neurons disease, and the funds will be used to help the people there. And things will all be great. And before I head out, I've been hearing that people have been using AI for terrible things. Now, AI by itself can be a tool used for good, but sadly, people are using AI for very, very horrible things. I think I'll need to talk about the implications of AI in another live stream, but I don't think I have enough time to delve into full detail on that for now. I just want to make a quick live stream in regards to just quick thoughts on the movies I've been watching. If you want to know more details about the movies I've been watching, feel free to follow me on Letterboxd, and expect more content on this channel. We'll be getting a subscriber boost, so hopefully keep that up. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Scott Stinker signing out.